Know his name. He did move his uh, foot. And he could grab the doctor's hand and things of that sort. So hopefully he recovers well, and the doctors at Greater, wherever they took him, take good care of him. Another loss, another disappointing output by first off me and the coaches, and just the plan not being able to execute in critical areas of the game. Um, too many turnovers. Can't expect to win a game with three turnovers. I thought the backs and receivers held onto the ball in those instances, but basically all the turnovers came from one position. Um, Really good job by Braden setting the school record, kicking that field goal to give us some momentum into the half. Thought our punter Reed Chandler did an outstanding job of limiting the return ability of their punt return. He was the leading punt returner in our conference, so he did a great job with hang time, distance, and the gunners and guys on the punt team getting down to make sure he didn't kill us in that area. But just way too many explosive plays on defense. Thought we stopped the run okay. We had spurts where we ran the ball okay. But third downs on offense, I think we had maybe 17 opportunities to convert on third down, make some fourth down conversions, but just way too many third down opportunities. And that means we didn't have enough explosive plays on offense when you have that many third downs. So we got to figure out ways to be more explosive. They did do a good job of double and sometimes triple covering Ted, and we got to progress and get through our reads, and got to go and throw the ball where the football needed to be thrown at times. So get a chance to go back, look at the tape, make corrections, and still got another opportunity to get better. Thought some of our younger players played well, but just very disappointing not being able to finish games. Thought we responded at times, but not enough consistency. And when you get an opportunity to put that magical drive together to possibly go up, and we didn't, and we allowed them to go down and score to kind of put the game out of reach. That's what championship teams got to do, and we're not there yet.
Well, just coach overall, you mentioned the defense and just had a slow start in the first half. Just what has been leading to these struggles just when you're starting to contest defensively, and what adjustments does this mean? A change of approach, maybe responsibilities? How do you handle these struggles defensively, especially in the first half?
Yes, a lot of different things. We just got to play with better eye discipline. They did a lot of kind of trick type plays, but we worked those plays, so there's no excuse on that part of it. Guys just got to do their job, put their eyes in the right spot, and we got to execute the defense that is called. The biggest point is not creating turnovers. Like you can't go through games and not force a fumble or get a pick or sack fumble. I mean, we're just not creating any momentum from a defensive standpoint. That's everybody, coaches, players, everybody has a piece in that. And, we got to all look at ourselves and go back to the tape. And I know it's cliche. I know it's kind of the same spiel every single week. And, just very, very disappointing with, some of the results, and just not being able to go win the game and having that intestinal fortitude about ourselves and just go make things happen, because it's really not about the play call. It's about, can you make a play? Can you challenge yourself? Can you not hesitate and believe in what's being called and just let it loose? Play scared too much.
What was kind of the week like? I'm sure you were allowing as much time for Cam to get ready if possible, but was it a week where TJ was getting a lot of reps? You were kind of preparing that was probably going to be his game QB.
Yeah, kind of knew it on Thursday that was probably going to be he made a big turn. Cam Brown did, as far as his injury, and but it still didn't turn enough where he was able to play the game. And you still had to be smart and not put him in harm's way, even though he really gave it his all for his treatment and things of that sort to try to get back to play. And we just kind of geared the game plan towards TJ and Christian getting all the reps during the week. And, you know, it resulted in 18 points, and 18 points is not enough to win football games in this league. And our goal is 35 a game, and if you don't get to 35, it's going to be hard to win games in this conference. And same thing defensively, you got to try to hold teams to 24 points, and if you do, you have a chance to win most all your games.
You mentioned Christian is also available. Was there a point in the game where you're maybe considering switching up quarterback just to get a different look?
They're kind of the same. Christian does have more mobility than TJ from a run standpoint, so it's just one of those cases where we didn't change. Felt like we were able to run the ball enough, and maybe we should have stuck to that a little bit more. Just hindsight, kind of thinking back through things. Like I said, TJ did some good things. We all did some bad things, coaches included, and we just got to and hadn't been able to put a complete game together. And, you know, that's on me as a coach and the coaching staff. And, you know, it's tough right now, especially with some of the injuries. I had another O-lineman go down during the game, DeAndre Duffus, and had to shuffle some more guys in. And, you know, just a very, very young, inexperienced. I'm not going to say inexperienced anymore. Just young players that's got to learn to push through the bad moments, and we got to go win and take games when you get an opportunity. When you get a chance to possibly go down and have the game-winning drive, then the defense have to go back on the field and possibly stop them. You know, that's what you want to be in, and we're not getting to that point.
I want to shift gears and talk about your seniors. The senior night, there's 19 people that will never play here again. What was your message to them for senior night, and how proud are you of them at their time here at Georgia State?
Yeah, it's different having seniors in the new portal era. That's why I made Mason Cook, Henry Bryant, Alec Johnson, and Futures Lewis the captains, because they've kind of went through the longevity of staying a Panther. And, you know, that's one thing I mentioned to our team just a few moments ago. Like, you know, money's good and all, if that affords you that opportunity. But at the end of the day, are you going to create a legacy, or do you want to just try and go for money? And I do feel if we keep the right guys that contribute at a high level, and they decide to stay here and stay put and build something, I think we can have a special group, because we are going through a lot of growing pains, and you want to see those growing pains kind of mature moving forward into an off season and things of that sort, where we can have a lot more gains and get bigger, faster, stronger in the off season, and just football knowledge and continuity, and then go back and, you know, kind of press reset and rewind and go at it again. But you know, you just have to see how that goes within the next month or so, and always look at senior days. You know, senior days when they're the last opportunity to play at home a little bit differently, because you know, a lot of guys, families have poured a lot of effort, time, money, sacrifice into their young man, and you know, they've learned a lot of lessons throughout their career, no matter where they've been, and it just kind of accumulates in their brains. And you know, some are going to look back and wish they would have done certain things, and some guys are going to know they stuck to the process and won't have any regrets at all. But I really love the seniors, appreciate everything they've done and will do. There's some great young men that's going to be really good citizens. Some guys will have an opportunity to play on the next level, and they'll get a chance to continue their football career.
I want to ask about, you talked about NIL, it's hard to find seniors that stay in a program. How do you plan to keep those younger players that, we haven't seen the season we want, and they may be thinking, oh, maybe I'll go somewhere else, or maybe I'll get some money like you said. What's your message to them to say, hey, believe in what we're doing, because there is, the rainbow at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, I mean, they understand the process and things, how things kind of work, but everyone has a different philosophy, different things going on in their personal life, and the biggest thing is what they believe, because we got plenty of examples of guys leaving and they're not playing, they're not being able to touch the field, they're not the main event no longer like they were. So there's plenty of examples, not only from Georgia State, but all across G5 Division II. I mean, you can go throughout the list of Sun Belt teams of guys that had great seasons and produced at a high level in our conference, and they went to the Power 4 leagues and not doing much of anything. So you just gotta really dig deep, and I think Ted's a great example of sticking to the plan and staying put, and in my opinion, he's going to be a day 2 guy that gets drafted.
You touched on just wanting to run the ball more. Jordan had a big day, 164 rushing yards, had that big rush in the first half, and it seemed like you were having some success running even on the outside with some zone and some counters. What was just the difference in the second quarter on, where it seemed like the rushing attack just wasn't as strong as when you first started the contest?
Yeah, I got to go back and look at tape, but it's coaching, and we gotta do better. And some of the looks that Marshall was presenting caused our quarterback to check some things that probably didn't need to be checked, and that's just us being on the same page and making sure everything was clearly defined on the parameters of the run plays. So that's us as coaches by not sticking to the plan and trying to run the ball and play more complementary football, and try to get the game into the fourth quarter, but also not being so passive where we don't go and try to win the football game.
With Grant, obviously another touchdown, third straight game with a touchdown, and he's taken the rollover after Cam gets hurt. I guess at what point was it the flip switching with him versus getting more time to practice? I guess what has been the moment to where now he's pretty reliable out there running a lot of different routes?
Yeah, he's really developed. We always knew his ability and things he possessed as far as his hands and route running ability and just understanding coverages and space. So that part, you grow as you get older. He still has to work on the blocking and the physical aspect of his game. He's not close in that area, which I think he will admit. But that's a key person that I think he has a very, very bright future, and his games are only going to get better as he gets bigger, stronger. Football IQ increases, creates more physicality, but we kind of knew, even when Camden was available, that you could see Grant making that turn, and he was starting to get more reps even when Camden was available. So that's what it takes, just sticking to the process and getting better each day and allowing those guys to get those reps they need in those opportunity periods where they didn't play in the game. We kind of create a game day atmosphere on Mondays where they got a lot of reps with our calls and they weren't scout players. But very pleased with how he's progressing, getting better, and he still has a long way to go. He's not a finished product by no means, and the sky's the limit for Grant.
And on the defensive side, specifically in the red zone, I think now that today's game's over, it'll be more than 75% of possessions in the red zone ending in a touchdown. I guess you still got to watch today's film, but are there any trends over the season you've noticed that just piling up to where you're not getting any stops once it gets inside the 20?
Yeah, a lot of those are coming on third downs too. That's what's more disappointing. But yeah, you gotta stop teams from scoring touchdowns in the red area. Gotta hold them to field goals. I thought Coastal, we did a good job of that in the first half that allowed the game to stay close, but that consistency of playing outstanding defense just hadn't been there this year, and there's some things that's gonna have to happen, after the season, and just gotta look ourselves in the mirror, self-scout, and make some administrative decisions in our entire program, not just defense, but just look at areas we're kind of lacking and not performing. So that's another day, another talk.
Any other questions?